You are listening to the Life Coach Business Podcast, episode number 85. Welcome to the Life Coach Business Podcast, a show for coaches who are ready to up-level their business and take their impact, leadership, and results to a whole new level. If you're ready to start taking powerful action and become the leader your business needs in order to grow and thrive, this show is for you. I'm your host, Amanda Karlstad, certified life and business coach and entrepreneurial leadership expert. Now let's get down to business. Hello and welcome everyone. I'm so glad to have you join me today. I hope you're doing well. I am doing fantastic. I'm super excited to talk to you all today. But before we dive in, I have to tell you, I have some really exciting things that I have been working on. Some things that I'll be able to share with you all in the coming weeks that are going to truly take things to a whole new level. And I'm so excited to be able to share them with you. And I also want to say that if right now you are thinking about closing out this year, closing out 2021, which by the way, we're almost halfway through the year already, that if you're looking to close out 2021 strong and you are looking to take your business to the next level, I want to encourage you to apply to my 6-month business accelerator program called the Mastermind. So this is for you if you are looking to grow your business to your first 100,000. It's the program, the process, the methodology that I have used in my own business and many other businesses as well. And I fully believe that if your goal is to build a highly scalable and sustainable business, and you want to do it in the most accelerated way, we have another cohort that will be starting soon. And I would love to invite you if you're ready to, like I said, take things to the next level. I want you to go ahead and apply. We'll link up the application in the show notes. You can also go to my website, amandakarlstadcoaching.com, and I would love to see if you're a fit. And for those of you listening that have already hit your first 6 figures, or if you are currently trending towards 6 figures, so you're averaging about $8,000 a month or more, I also want to invite you to apply to my high-level mastermind. Now, this is a very intimate, high-level group program that incorporates one-on-one coaching with me, as well as group, as well as a mastermind and retreats and full marketing and advertising support. And I want to be really clear here that this is both paid support and also organic support. And so when I look at this program, really both of my programs, I've really created them and developed them in a way where I've been really intentional about creating them in a way so that they are a one-stop shop for you, where it really is a holistic program that covers everything you need in order to build, grow, and scale your coaching practice. And I have to tell you that in the high-level mastermind especially, and I will say this happens also in the 6-month mastermind program, that literally the work that is happening with clients, what they are building, what they are implementing in their businesses, it's $1 million work. We are literally creating and building $1 million coaching businesses and brands. So if you've had some success in your business and you know you need both the mindset and the strategic full 360-degree support, I also invite you to apply to this program, as this is also application only, and we'll link that up in the show notes as well. All right. So today I want to talk about something that I haven't really talked about before on the podcast. And it's something that I think is a really important topic. And I want to also give you some tangible action-oriented takeaways in this episode that you can use so that you can really step up and do what we're talking about here. And so today I want to talk to you all about destiny. And so it's a term I'm sure you've all heard before. And I want to start today's conversation by talking first about what destiny is and what that might look for you. So before I give you my definition, I want to give you the definition of what destiny is according to the dictionary. So when I looked up the word destiny and did a Google search, of course, several definitions popped up. But the one that I really like said that destiny is defined as a noun. It's something that is to happen or has happened to a particular person or thing, lot, or fortune. It's the predetermined, usually inevitable or irresistible course of events. It's the power or agency that determines the course of events. And when I read that, I thought, okay, great. That is pretty close to my own definition on how I would define destiny, because to me, destiny is essentially the experience, it's the results of our lives or our businesses, which is determined by us. Which, if you've listened to this podcast for any length of time, you also know I talk all of the time on how that's determined by our thinking, by our feeling, by our actions and our behaviors, the decisions that we make over a period of time. And that ultimately leads to the outcome, which leads to the end result, which is that destiny. Now, one of the things that I think is really important to understand when we're talking about destiny is the idea of power or agency, as the definition states. And so when I think about destiny, I also think about it in terms of the result. It's the experience we have as a result of our thinking, how we approach our life, how we approach our business. So it's really the product, it's the result of our vision and the execution of that vision. And so one of the things I want to offer to all of you today is that you all have the ability right now, in this moment, to claim the destiny that you most want. And this is a really important distinction. We all have the power, we have the agency when it comes to our own destiny. And I personally think this is such an amazing thing. And I want to offer that I believe on a very deep level that whatever vision, whatever destiny you have that's inside of you, I believe that you have that for a reason. So for all of you who are listening right now, know that whatever that does look like for you, know that whatever that looks like for your business, for your life, know that you have that vision, you have that destiny for a reason. I just think this is such an empowering concept. So even if it's just an inkling, I believe that you have that inkling for a reason. And maybe it's a grand vision. Maybe you have, a huge vision for your business, for your life. You have that grand vision for a reason. So the first thing I want to encourage you to do is to first instill and own and remember that every single day, even on the days where you might be feeling overwhelmed, even on the days where you might not feel great, even on the days where you might be experiencing different levels of doubt or fear or whatever that negative emotion is, that despite what you might be facing in that moment, that you still can't lose sight of your destiny. And we don't want to lose sight even if it's just an inkling. And knowing that if it's in your heart, that it's there for a reason. So that's the first piece. And I know for all of you listening that there's a big reason you're called to this work. I know for all of you who listen to this podcast that you're being called to do big things. So in a way, I want to give you permission to engage with your destiny, to engage with these so-called or seemingly crazy ideas that you might have. Because here's what I believe. When it comes to coaching specifically and the work that you do as a coach, this is big work. The work you do as a coach is big work. But what tends to happen, and this happens no matter if you are new, and it happens no matter if you've been in business for a while, that if we don't experience levels of success that we think we should, we start to then push these visions down. We start to push down these aspirations. And I see this happen so often that so many coaches are dimming their light. They're dimming their brightness and what they're really capable of. And I do think this happens for so many reasons, and it's very personal and it's very individual. But I have to tell you, one of the reasons I see this happen is because so many of you aren't fully owning this concept that we're talking about today and really claiming your destiny as it relates to your work, as it relates to your business. And then what happens is you start settling for something less. And you start to pull back on the intensity of how you're going after your goals. And then we start to justify all the reasons why it not be possible. And we start seeking the evidence, and a lot of times unconsciously, as to why it's not going to work out, or why it might not be the right time, or why it might not be the right fit. And I know so many of you can relate to this. And here's what I want to say about that. What if part of your destiny was actually building your business to its highest potential? What if part of your destiny and claiming that for yourself was taking your business to its fullest capacity? What if it was taking your fullest capacity as a coach, as the leader of your business? I want you to really consider that, because I believe that this is part of claiming your destiny. And I talk all of the time about the power of the process. And I did an episode all about trusting and honoring the process and really truly seeing the power in the process. We'll link that up in the show notes. I highly recommend that you go back and listen to that episode. That was quite a few episodes back, but it's a really important one, because one thing that I have learned and continue to learn as I work with more and more clients, it's as my clients grow themselves, the result is their businesses also grow, because it really is about who you are becoming in this process. And that, my friends, is really the gold. It's who you become. It is about the journey. But so often we become so attached to that end result, and we end up missing the lessons. We end up missing the richness of the journey that we're on. And your growth and the growth that's required for you to build your business to its fullest capacity, I believe, is the real treasure. So I want to encourage you to appreciate the journey and honor that journey. And also understand that it's never anything outside of you. Understand that you and only you are the one to create your destiny and to claim your destiny. And that happens by the decisions and the actions that you take today. You have the power to claim your destiny. You know, my personal belief is that one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves, that we can give the world, is to reach our own highest potential. Each of us was put here with a plan and a purpose and the ability to claim our destiny. And I believe it's our responsibility to evolve to our highest capacity while we're here on earth, and to contribute at the highest level and fulfill the purpose that's unique for every one of you. And I believe it's our highest duty. It's our highest duty to pursue our highest potential. So I want you all to consider for a moment the important work that you're here to do. Because the truth is, for some of you, just having one conversation with a client, having just one coaching session can change your client's life. You have the opportunity to make such an impact on a daily basis. You have the potential and the capacity to claim whatever destiny you want today. So to help you do that, I want to talk about 5 principles that I believe you can use that will help you start creating and ultimately claiming the destiny that you most want to create. So the first principle that will help you create the destiny you want most is number 1, start making decisions from a long-term perspective. Here's what I mean by that. Start making decisions today. And these could be very small decisions. They don't have to be big decisions, but start making decisions today that ultimately have long-term impact. Start making decisions today for what you want your life and your business to look like in 5 years or even in 10 years. A perspective that I use often and one that I think is extremely useful is to use the perspective of looking back on your life in your final days. So I want you to consider for a moment looking back on your life in your last moments. You all have the ability to create a masterpiece of your life. So the question is what masterpiece are you choosing to create? What masterpiece are you choosing to create each and every day? Because the reality is that every single day is a brushstroke towards the masterpiece of your life. And so this could look like something along the lines of getting the proper support you need as building your business, right? Something to help you ultimately reach that highest calling, reach your highest potential. So I encourage you to always make decisions from the lens of long-term impact over short-term comfort. All right, so let's move to number 2. Number 2 is be focused daily, not just on the thing that you most want to achieve, but also focused on the plan, also focused on the actual actions and strategies that support your business at that level. I want to be real with you all for a moment. This is where I see many of you get and stay off track. And I think it's because there are so many ways to go about building a business. I think there are so many strategies and so many tactics that are talked about. And I see happen a lot where we fall into shiny object, what I call shiny object syndrome, and we jump from strategy to strategy or tactic to tactic. And I want to be real honest with you all about this. Tactics will never work. They might work in the short term. They might help gain some traction in the short term. But from a long-term perspective, making a long-term impact like we just talked about, you have to be implementing and instilling solid business principles in your business, which is why I teach on business principles. I don't teach tactics. So the point here is if you want to build $1 million plus business, which I know many of you do, and for some of you, maybe it's just 100K, that's fine. You also have to back that up with action. You also have to have the right strategies for that. So if we use the $1 million business as the example, if your goal is to build your business to that 7-figure level and scale it beyond that, it's going to require more of you as the business leader, as the business owner. Your business is going to require a higher level of thinking from you. It's going to require a higher level of capability and leadership more than you're likely currently demonstrating. It's going to require decisions with long-term impact. It's probably going to require you to take a lot more risks. And it's probably going to require you to learn whole new skill sets and structuring your business in a way that can actually support and sustain that level of growth, that level of volume. It's going to require a whole new level of personal leadership from you. And demonstrating that personal leadership in your business starts with claiming your destiny and the choices that you're making every single day. So with that action plan, that very intentional plan, you also want to develop the emotional connection to it. You want to remain focused, of course, on that end result, but you also want to be balancing this with daily intentional actions. But by not having a solid plan in the first place, this is where I see so many of you getting off track. And the reality is, even if you have a solid plan, that's not enough. You also have to be managing your mind every single day to a level that allows you to be taking powerful action each and every day. This is why I've created the programs I've created. This is why this is the work that I do with my clients, because in order to play on a level like that, it's going to require you to grow and expand first to that level. And so that action plan has to be connected to that final destiny that we're talking about. And finally, the last and biggest thing that I want to reinforce is that you have to stop viewing your current circumstances. You have to stop viewing the current results, the outcomes that you have right now as your projection for your future. Because I want you to consider something very, very powerful, which is the compound effect. So when you start something new, or you're creating something big in your business or in your life, it's going to require concentrated energy. It's going to require concentrated focus. So as you build these muscles, you're likely not going to see immediate results. It's almost like deciding to wake up and go to the gym and expect to walk out after one workout with a six-pack. It just doesn't happen like that. You have to be consistent. You have to go to the gym or work out in a way consistently and over time that will create the result of that six-pack. So you have to build the momentum. But here's where things really start to get off track for most of you. As you continue on in this journey many times, and as you are confronted with new levels of confronting yourself, perhaps, or things in your business, things in your life, what ends up happening is you start to find evidence everywhere as to why success is not possible for you. And you start to find evidence everywhere on why it's not going to work out. And this is a very dangerous place to be, because what happens is that then, and I see this happen so often, we start to make short-term decisions. So for example, saying that a certain principle or a certain strategy won't work. But the reality is what's actually happening is you're not applying the strategy consistently in your business. You're never allowing the strategy to actually take root and ultimately bloom. And instead, it's very common to get impatient and jump from one strategy to another rather than continuing to nurture that solid strategy. So making that decision to jump somewhere else and start focusing on a completely different strategy. And what happens is then the process starts all over again, and the results still don't come, and the frustration still sets in. So I want you all to understand that business, and when it comes to seeing results in your business, it's very much like nature. So just like in nature, we wouldn't doubt that flowers that we've planted will bloom. We don't doubt that after we've planted them properly, we've watered them, we've cared for them, we know that it's a matter of time until they bloom. But why do we question that in our business? So when you implement sound business principles and when you implement smart strategies in your business and you nurture your business and you nurture these strategies, I want you all to know that the result you want is inevitable for you. But you've got to be willing to stick with it. You've got to be willing to keep nurturing things regardless of the outcome. You've got to be willing to play the long game and keep moving forward every single day. All right, my friends, have an amazing week. I'll talk to you all again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, if you're ready for a real breakthrough in your business and want to grow and scale your business to at least 6 figures or more in annual revenue, I invite you to apply for my exclusive program, The Mastermind, at amandacarlstadcoaching.com/the-mastermind. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Life Coach Business Podcast. If you want to learn more about how to build, grow, and scale your business and accelerate your results, visit amandacarlstadcoaching.com.